Hey guys, welcome to Faz Radio. Let's get started. So I was wanting to talk about just the crazy last week. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the last week. There's been a lot of SEC news, like Tether. Apparently, they're starting to kind of go after Tether. There's a big thing about stable coins. There was what the Pennsylvania senator was asking the SEC chief about stable coins. Apparently, the SEC chief is alluding that stable coins are securities. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see that?
Yeah, I talked about it a little bit on Discord last night. I had a conversation in one of the rooms that I jumped in on, talking about I think Gensler is doing this on purpose just to shut everybody down, to scare everybody into stopping or at least slowing down what they're putting into the stable coins and into the crypto market, to buy them time. I really think that's because his allegations that stable coins are securities, the jury's still out. He's smart enough to know that as well. All it's doing is creating a tremendous amount of FUD, which is all I think his goal is at this point.
Well, that's not going to work because that usually raises the price of crypto, doesn't lower it. I mean, sure, go ahead. I find the United States actions against stablecoins as being rather limited. So, okay, say they banned stablecoins, and the only way I think they can even ban stablecoins is say, Faz and Titan, if you transact in stablecoins, if we found out that you've transacted stablecoins, we fine you or do whatever. So if they ban stablecoins, they'll just be used by other countries, and the rest of the world will move on without us. Okay, what'd you gain there? You gained us getting behind. The United States is not bigger than the world. The world, there's a lot more countries out there besides us, and so we can't set the policy for the world. And maybe we're used to setting the policy for, using the dollar, because a lot of countries are basing their currencies on the dollar. But those same countries, and I'm looking at Nigeria and El Salvador, and I mean, even Cuba now, they're starting to be like, you know what? We should just make Bitcoin legal, and then people can use that instead if they want to.
It's going to be interesting how they approach it. That's definitely an idea. I think what they're going to do is go after the centralized exchanges first and get a hold of those. And after they get a hold of those, because people, they can't get on or off. I think you're going to see a fairly large push I shouldn't say but from the banker side. Over in England and some other countries, they are restricting you as far as putting money into these exchanges. And I think they're going to try and make it more and more difficult to get money from a bank account into the centralized exchanges. I mean, right now, how easy is it? I know you did it for a while. I still do it. I have a daily amount coming out of my bank account, ACHing straight into Coinbase. And that gets me USDC. There's no fees. And then I sit on my USDC and I either put it into Litecoin and move it to another exchange, or I just throw it onto the pro side and make whatever trades I want to make there for a lower cost. But I think that's where they're going to start clamping down tighter in the very near future. So it makes it more difficult for us, the hoops we got to jump through, and maybe force wires, which will cost us $30 a piece. That'll help slow it down. But I think that's going to be their short-term goal, which will buy them enough time between that and the FUD they're putting out to get something through Congress, to get things legislated more the way they want to do it.
Well, Congress is, this group has just found, I forgot the name of this group. They've just found another provision in Biden's infrastructure bill that will make things harder. I posted on the Discord. I forgot what it was. I think it's about wallet KYC, that if you transact with any wallet, that there must be some KYC there. And it's some language about it. It's on Twitter somewhere.
Yeah,
But
I
that's
saw
gonna
the
be
same
difficult.
thing. Yeah,
That's going to be difficult. And I mean, you can go after individuals for this, but it's gonna be hard. And to my 2 cents is there's a lot of rich people in the United States that are into crypto right now. They're not going to put up with it.
Well, what are they going to do though?
Well,
There's not much they can do right off the bat.
What do rich people do right now to get the way they want? One, they have an inexhaustible legal money supply, so they can sue the crap out of you. And we all know that the more money you have, the more justice you get. You put enough lobbyists in Congress and you sue enough, you will get your way. Just look at the Ripple case. Ripple is outspending the SEC 10-1 with their stuff, and everybody's pretty much predicting Ripple's going to win. The only way the SEC, I think, can actually win is they get enough senators and congressmen on their side to perhaps get something passed. And that infrastructure bill is, I think, the first step, because it has very vague language, and it just allows them to just make some broad statements that go really far.
Well, they do that on purpose. They want it to be as vague as possible, because then that way it gives them more latitude to decide what actions, if any, they want to take. That does help the projects that are out there now just a little bit, because it is vague. It allows a little more creativity on the creator side. But this is going to be interesting what they try and do here, and they've got to be careful that they don't stifle the innovation here. There's been several companies already, with Ripple being one of them, that are looking to have an exit plan. If the legislation comes down that's not in their favor or something they don't like, they are putting things in place now to make it a lot easier to exit and maybe set up shop in a different jurisdiction where it's going to be a lot more friendly.
Well, right, if you notice, Ripple has been, ever since the case they started getting sued, and even a little bit before, Ripple has been crowing about their overseas stuff. And the more this case is going on, the more Ripple is going, you know what? We just opened up a new ODL corridor in the Philippines. Oh, look, we did one in Dubai. Oh, look, we got one over here in Japan now. You know, they're going to keep doing that, and that's going to weigh in on a lot of politicians. And all they need to say is, hey, psst, look what we're doing over here. Yeah, we're making all sorts of money in those countries. Oh, yeah, but we have to leave the United States. Sorry, you don't get any of our tax money. Bye-bye. So, okay, do that. Fine, go for it. See what happens. Well, everybody else will be able to have a much more optimized financial system, except for us. And you know, I don't know how much of an exodus of individuals that caused in the United States, but I think it would cause some people to leave.
I think it absolutely will. There's El Salvador, who just made Bitcoin legal tender. They are very crypto friendly. I think even tighter down here in Florida. Florida is a state that has really opened up. Miami has really opened their arms. They want to attract as many of these projects as they can. The problem being, again, with the federal level not making up their mind how they want to approach this yet, that's still holding people back. You've got Wyoming, where Kraken has decided they want to start doing a lot of business out of there. They have I don't think their bank is set up yet. I looked probably, I want to say like 3 weeks ago. And as of 3 weeks ago, they still didn't have the bank operational, but they were closer. And I think what they're waiting on, they want to be able to provide the loans and all that, and those applications are taking a little bit longer. But little things are opening up like that. But I think countries that decide they want to move forward with this, I know, I want to say it was Spain. It was somebody that I hadn't heard of before. That's the first thing that comes to mind. I hope I'm right. But a country I hadn't heard of before was in a Twitter thread about wanting to open up into this economy and take advantage of the way that they're developing these technologies. I think that's where a lot of people are sitting back and waiting too.
I think we need to have something for the GALA people here
Oh, I
because
agree. This is fantastic. It took, I think, everybody by surprise, and I'm surprised it's still trading as high as it is. You and I went back and forth in one of the other rooms and had some fun with that because I thought I would have bet everything I have that thing was going back down to 4 cents before it went back up, and it didn't.
we have a channel in the GALA Discord where we actually investigate wallets. It's a private channel. And so after the first pump up from 4 cents, we did some investigation and found out it was just a few whales. One was like an investment fund in China. And I think we had a guy looking after the second pump, and I think it's still some whales. I think so, my 2 cents are some whales accumulated up to about 14 cents. And then they dumped, and they're trying to chump everybody into buying and then raising so they can buy, so they can. I think they're manipulating the crap out of things right now. Making the price go up and down because it looks like they're trying to shake people out. So I think I think unless they find a way to make their money back through swing trades going lower, I think it might stay around this price just because you have some big people are getting into this. Maybe somebody like Mark Cuban got into it.
That would be kind of cool. That's interesting. I haven't followed the wallet room with that. I was
And these are my
looking at some of
opinions.
the other stuff.
These are my opinions based upon just little points of data I've seen. So it's not like I'm informed.
No, but that is a great observation, and it's definitely possible. I think some of these larger wallets do want to get a little something out of this, and I could absolutely see prices bouncing between 6 and 16 over the next month or so, and then we don't know. Bitbender keeps posting little teasers on, hey, we have some huge news coming, and there's some great drops that are coming. So they're keeping that alive as well, which will probably keep the token held up a little bit more. And now, even more, you have this volume. And one of the things I wanted to get into, and of course, we all know you never have time for everything. So on my list, I keep a list on my computer in the notes section over on the side, those little sticky notes. I wanted to explore that Binance Smart Chain and see if any more liquidity is dropped on there to do some trading on that side of it, because it's obviously ridiculously cheap.
Well, that's
17-cent transactions.
DEX. Don't they have a DEX you can get to, or is they're not one for U.S. residents?
Well, yeah, I haven't looked at those instructions in a while, but it's on Smart Chain. It's called P token. I think is what it is. It's the bridge they created to get Gala over to the Binance Chain token structure. And then you can take and do your trading. I want to say it's even, was it Pancake Swap or, yeah, there's some little decks you can do that. But I want to make sure there's enough liquidity there for a nice set of trading. Because the last thing I want to do is put a bunch of Gala and a bunch of, what is that? Binance Smart Chain. What is that? BNB. Over there and spend the gas fees to get the tokens changed, and then have there be 2,000 Gala tokens available to buy there. So I want to be able to know there's enough liquidity. But if we're going to go into this swing trading, which I think we might, I want to trade over there. I don't want to be trading, on Uniswap and getting charged $57 each way for every trade that I make.
Well, yeah, that's what's getting me is there are options to centralized exchanges, but those options are really expensive. And $50 a trade isn't bad if you're spending $10,000 at a time, which, well, I'm not there yet. So, it's a nice option to have Uniswap and stuff. And that's the safest because you don't have to worry about your exchange closing down or issues. I do worry a bit about USDT and the fact that the SEC doesn't seem to like stable coins. And what is going to happen if a stable coin gets targeted by the U.S.? How is that going to change trading on foreign exchanges? And I'm finding that when I recently, when I've been trading GALA for USDT, I don't want to stay in USDT that long. I'd rather just put it in something else or even put it in dollars on an exchange.
So I did notice, and I don't know anything about this. This would be probably a great educational opportunity for us to get on in the Discord. But when I went to Bitrue, because I want to put some over there to do some swing trading on there, I'm not going to put my whole bag over there, of course, because I'm real nervous about those frozen. I've had way too many frozen wallets over there where I can't withdraw, and that bothers
They're
me.
always in the weird coins. Just deal with it. Roll with it.
Yeah, well, but there was, like we talked about on that other podcast, there was 84 of them that don't allow withdrawal or deposit.
They
and I'm
wouldn't,
like,
if you notice their main coins, you're not going to see them do that with Bitcoin or with XRP or with any other their money makers. So I think what you're really seeing there is the fact that I'm a software developer. What you're seeing is the coins they don't care about. It's like, okay, when we have time, we'll get to this. Why should the real question is, why aren't they delisting them? Because they're trying to say, hey, look, we can do this coin. No, you can't, not really. And so I think they're trying to punch above their weight, and I don't think they're shutting off trading or withdrawing because they don't like you. I think they're doing it because that's just too much for them to too much for them to do right now. Sometimes
IOTA is not a small token.
Sometimes blockchains will upgrade and then they won't prioritize the upgrade. And so then you can't take it off the exchange because they literally can't put it onto the blockchain. So IOTA might be bigger, but compared to the others, no, IOTA really hasn't moved that much. I've had IOTA since 2017. It really hasn't gained that much, I'm sorry to say.
No, but there's a lot of volume because it's on Binance now, so it does move. But anyway, to get back to what I was talking about, so I went to go put some GALA onto Bitrue to do some swing trading with, and I noticed in the wallet there are 3 GALA tokens. There's GALA, there's GALA 3L, and GALA 3S. I haven't looked at how many there are there, but I had never seen. I started seeing maybe a week or two ago on this exchange and some other exchanges these 3L and 3S tokens that they had, and I hadn't gotten around to poking around and seeing what that was, but I'm seeing it a lot more.
It's
so
for
maybe
yield farming.
Yeah, so I've never done yield farming. Have you ever done yield farming?
Nope. And that's another area that I need to get into. We should make a show about it after we've done some. Maybe, I don't know if L means liquidity or leverage or whatever, but as you know, you if you see a pattern with a lot of tokens named the same, there's actually a purpose behind it. And I just happen to know that I've seen other tokens with those letters after them. So it's not like GALA L or GALA LS or whatever is a different is a new and improved coin. It's just for Bitrue's use, and probably will only be limited to other exchanges, maybe.
Okay. I was just kind of curious. I was like, wow, I'm seeing this more and more, and I have no idea what these things are for. So maybe that has to do with the Power Piggy there or something.
Mm, I don't think it's the Power Piggy because they weren't around until recently. No, I believe it has a lot to do with their new loan offering that they have, where you can loan out coins. Uniswap, for example, when you make trades and stuff, you'll get Uniswap tokens. So they're doing the same thing. Sorry, when you set yourself up to be a liquidity provider, you get Uniswap tokens, right?
Right.
So it's like that.
Okay.
They've got to be able to quantify what you're doing. So that's when the SEC starts saying, well, a great many of these tokens are securities. Well, maybe those tokens are used as securities. I don't know, but they're never. You're not going to buy a whole bunch of those and slap them on your Ledger Nano, but you could.
I guess so. Yeah. Okay. So with Gala maybe doing some bouncing lately, and as we come into the end of the year, we've heard some rumors here and there that a game like Spider Tank is looking good for a release fairly soon. Where do you think this is going to go? Where do you think this ends up over the next couple of months? I mean, besides the obvious daily up and downs,
So
if you had to say, hey, if there's an average token price that I think we can realistically expect by year end, what do you think?
well, I thought I said that already, which is the first big jump we had. I believe Gala went up to 14 cents. And I think that's when some big whales were accumulating. And for them to kind of stay ahead, in my opinion, unless they can swing trade the lower when it goes lower, for them to get ahead, it pretty much needs to stay above 14 cents. Doesn't mean it will be there right now. But I know it could be a tactic. They buy it up to 14 cents and then swing trade until their average is down to 7 cents, and then it just stays at 7 cents. Whatever the case is, it's going to stay up, in my opinion, somewhere. I don't think we're going to see 4 cents again. I think I got lucky when I had suggested after the first one, I was like, I think we're bottoming out at 4 cents. That's just because I saw it wasn't moving. It was just flat all of a sudden. And whatever's making this price go up, somebody is actively trying to make it go up, in my opinion. So that's why I don't think it will stay down. As to how far down that is, stuff's all over the board. I think even the people screwing around with the price is trying to figure out where the price is going to settle out. So I don't think anyone knows. I mean, it seems to be in the last day or so, it seems to be around 10 or 11 cents when it goes down. That's where the lows are. Maybe that's a new bottom. I don't know.
I've noticed it's popped down around 8 recently.
Oh, and I do want to say, because you had mentioned this other part, as this is going on, as the price is going up, Gala Games is not stupid. They have been quiet for quite a while, but all of a sudden they started yanking things out of dusty old closets to say, hey, look, we've got this, we've got that, because they know a whole bunch of people are getting into it and they're starting to do research and they want to see new offerings. And so Gala's like, hey, we're just starting to put some stuff out. Well, you and me know otherwise. They've been working on it for a long time. And,
right.
It's like all of a sudden the price went through the roof. They're like, you know what? Spontaneous Spider Tank demo day. Everybody get online, get on board. And then look, we got the winter background now where you can do it in Winter World and stuff like that. So I think they had that demo waiting for something like this, and they're like, "Oh, your winter level is done. Okay, do this. Oh, well, we don't have all the cannons, and we don't have all the flames, and fine, just put it out. We got to get something out so we can show people what this is like, what we're working on." And so I think they're going to be throwing everything out and making it like it's a big deal. Look, we got a new weapon for Spider Tank. Woohoo! I mean, they already came out with the whale tank in the last few days, which whatever. I've been ignoring that. But they So they're pulling out as much as they can because they have a lot of eyes on them right now. And so I think you'll start hearing from Gala a lot more. The more the price goes up, the more substantive stuff you're going to see. And I know there's people behind the scenes at work right now. I just know it. People are at work right now on a Saturday trying to get something together to demo. I'd be surprised if we didn't see a Miranda's thing soon. Just to show me that level. You got the inside of one shop done? Okay, let's see the shop. Whatever.
Even if they put out like a YouTube video, they wouldn't even have to do like another stress test like they did. If they just had somebody get in there and did a video on, hey, look at, here's what the inside of a tavern's going to look like. Here's what a drone flying over one of the citadels would look like. I mean, something like that. I mean, that would really pump a lot. And like I talked about in the Discord the other day, I think they are crapping in their pants a little bit over there, because especially with a Binance listing, it's now gone from and I hate saying not serious, but a semi-serious, they were having a lot of fun along with the work. They're going to have eyes on them now from some of these bigger people in the industry, be it competitors or whales that are looking for another project to invest in. And they're going to be watching now. So those eyes are focused on them. And just like if, you were to take your platform that you trade on and go put it in the center of an auditorium with 5,000 people on it, watching your trades on the big screen as you do it live, you're going to get nervous. So I do think that that's going to be something that Gala has to be very careful of going forward. There's all the gimmies that we've given them with mistakes and wording things wrong and everything else. I think those days where the forgiveness, doesn't really make a dent in their armor, I think that's gone.
Well, they're also going to have to change their messaging. Right now, they're doing a lot of personable stuff on Discord. The bigger things get, and the higher the stakes and so on, I think you're going to see them pull back a little. And the messaging, I've seen this with too many games. Star Citizen is my go-to example. But what's going to happen is people are going to start quoting them more and more, and they're going to clam up more and more and more. The more you give them shit, the more they're going to shut up. And then you're just going to be, you wonder why EA Games puts out a game, you hear about it, and then 2 months later, it's in the stores. Why? Because they get shit from a lot of people if they tell people way in advance. And, Gala Games and, Star Citizen has always tried to include people in, hey, this is how the development's going. And with Gala, funding a lot of the stuff through NFT sales, they pretty much have to do what Star Citizen is doing. This is a rough road for them. They're going to have to find a way to interact with the community and deal with these questions. I think they're going to clam up more, personally. And
that's what I was
professionally, I would suggest it. It's not a good idea for them to just speculate. Maybe we should do this. Maybe we should do that, because people play the telephone game, and then all of a sudden it's a sure thing they're going to do that, and it changes the crypto price. And they're like, well, we don't recognize the crypto. That's fine. You may not. However, you have what you say has a lot of ramifications. And then when the day comes when their stock price, when they get stocks. Because I'm sure they'll go public at some point if they become successful enough. I've been hearing some rumblings on Discord about people asking about stock offering rumors. Well, maybe eventually. My 2 cents is, but one day they're going to get popular enough, in my opinion, to where they're going to want to go public, and people are going to start selling the crypto and buying stock with it. I mean, doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out.
Well, especially if they're pushing harder to go into this Gala chain that they've talked about. I think if they had their own chain, that would take them to a whole new level. I think you see the chain come out before anybody goes public. But I could see another big partnership coming soon as well, especially if through the end of the year the token stays strong. This
They probably have that stuff lined up anyway.
yeah, well, I'm saying this town token. What I've noticed, so I've had my share of gripes and complaints about Gala for months now, and one of the things that they do very well, in my opinion, is the stuff that we talk about like this, like these partnerships and everything else. They've already had these in the works for a long time. Uh, that what is that new, the 888 that they did? We
The
had
Vox?
talked about, yeah, with the Vox. We had talked about things like that previous, and of course they couldn't say anything because of the non-disclosures, but they had already been working on that. So when they talk about these games that they bring aboard the platform, I think there's probably a few partnerships that are not gaming related that are probably in the works behind the scenes as well. How this whole Binance thing came through. There is no token listing fee per se for Binance from what I read, but they have Binance charities. So Binance will strongly encourage a quote listing fee, but that is just to go straight to charity. 100% of the proceeds go to charity. So Gala, I think, may have slid a couple of dollars that way. Gala's big into charity anyway with their tree program. So I think it wasn't as big of a surprise to them as they let it on to be. But of course, they probably have NDAs, a mountain of them in the corner in Jesse's office, where they can't talk about that stuff. And there could be other things they're working on like that they just can't talk about. It would not surprise me in the least.
All right. So I'm actually wanting to keep this one a bit short. So, all right. Cool. Another podcast done. Talk to you later, Titan. That's our sign.
Have a good one, Faz.